DCT Audio. The art of good listening.
Hello, I'm Richard Horton.
And I'm Dave Thomas, and this is 33 Minutes.
We're going to be looking at the policing and ethical issues of the day,
And inviting subject matter experts into the conversation.
whilst bringing nearly 60 years of combined police experience.
You may not agree with us, but we will make you think.
We have just 33 minutes to discuss the burning policing issues of today.
And we will be delighted if you could join us. Right, well, it's been a while since we've been together, Richard. How are you doing?
We're good. Well, we're back as well. I think it's sometimes like Arthur sleeping in his cave. You know, when policing has a need, we will arise from our slumber and come back at it. Yeah, it's been a while. I've been an ex-baker, an ex-union shop steward, and now I'm doing another job again, part-time. But I've still got time to do some podcasting, and there are more policing issues now than perhaps there were when we started last time.
Well, if people remember, we did the Thin Blue Mind podcast, and there was certainly a lot to talk about. We did them fairly regularly, and then we always said, didn't we, that once we decided that we'd become irrelevant or there was nothing left to talk about, we'd stop doing it. But obviously with a change in government now, a new way of doing things, a new way of looking at things, topics have come up again, which I know you do, and certainly I feel that we've got something to add to the mix on that.
There are definitely things still to be said, Dave. Policing once again finds itself in a time of change. We find ourselves looking at the wrong end of funding now, but at the same time with requirements from government around recruitment of additional bobbies and redeployment to neighbourhood. We have a background of BJ Harrington at Essex saying he's 200 cops short. The Met Commissioner saying he's 2,000 short,
Oh, awful.
400 civilians.
If those figures are even close to accurate, then there's a lot to worry about there.
There is, and that needs talking about how we got to that situation, and I'm sure we will. I think when we look at the role of the College of Policing and whether that's holding the line on its ambitions for policing, increasingly policing becoming accused of being a two-tier organisation, that we have two-tier policing in this country, and I have views on that, and again, it's something I think we can usefully talk about.
You know, for me, assisted dying is one of the big topics for me at the moment. Landmark ruling in the House of Commons, although it was a private member's bill, it's now going through to the various other stages, which is good. There's a lot of nuances which I think were missed in the debate. And obviously the police well-being journey, that ever ongoing subject. And I think there's things to look at there. And of course, trial by jury is going to be a big one. You know, the backlog within the criminal justice system vis-a-vis the courts is not reducing. So now they're having to look at more, some would say, desperate ways to reduce that backlog.
Certainly there's bringing some expedience perhaps into the system by way of having more trials without juries. That's a consideration, certainly. You have to say when serious criminal trials are being put forward now till 2028.
Yeah, rape.
Yes,
predominantly.
And the most serious assaults. That then something has gone wrong. I think we know what's gone wrong and we know what maybe needs to be done to address it. And that, again, is a thing we can talk to. But we're not alone with that when the judges and the criminal bar and the criminal solicitors and the police are all singing from the same hymn sheet effectively on court time and backlog. Things have gone badly wrong and it needs sorting.
And I think it was brought to highlight, really, wasn't it, with the last summer's riots. And people saw that how somebody can be charged under the for violent disorder. Indeed, one person was actually charged and convicted of riot.
Indeed.
How is it they can turn those cases round in a fairly short space of time, and yet we have equally serious offences of rape and serious assault, which take years?
And that's certainly a thing that we need to talk about, and we should talk about, the priorities that are given at certain times to certain offences, certain defendants, to what extent national interest plays into those speedy trials, and to what extent guilty pleas in the face of overwhelming evidence plays into those speedy trials. But
yes.
It's the two-tier justice system, I guess, rather than two-tier policing is an accusation that's being made by all sides.
People will be thinking, what gives you the right to have an opinion on all this? And they are just opinions. We're not saying we're right or wrong, but for people that don't know us, Richard, just tell us a little bit about your previous history.
Okay. Well, I was 30 years in the police, most of that as a detective at various roles, latterly as a response sergeant and then as a licensing sergeant. In between all that time, I managed to get myself in a little bit of trouble when I was the author of the Nightjack blog, which won the Orwell Prize for online writing back in, I think, 2009, long time ago. But back then I had interesting and informative things to say about policing. Other people thought they were interesting and informative. And I think I still have. And although I've been retired now for about 3 years, I'm still close enough to the subject matter to understand, having an idea as to what's going on under the hood, and to debate and discuss it and maybe bring out some points in the podcast that you may not have considered, you may want to consider. So you hopefully get a more rounded view of what's on the front page of the Mail or the Mirror or the Guardian from listening to somebody who has that rounder view of what may be going on.
I've learnt things from you in the past that I've not considered or an angle to an argument. Myself, I'm also a former police officer, retired, 25 years experience, not quite as long as you.
Well, I'm old.
Mostly traffic, road policing unit, then CID and child protection. So I've got a fair, broad grounding of experience across several areas of policing. So that's us. We're going to be coming with a new podcast series in the new year, and I hope you can join us.
Yeah, we do. It will be interesting, I think. I hope. Please listen.
DCT Audio. The art of good listening.